So late last night, early this morning, there was an amendment they tried to add to a bill in the U.S. House of Representatives. It was introduced by Democratic Representative Ro Khanna to force the DOJ to release the Epstein files, all of the evidence, flight logs, and anything that they have basically that they can legally disperse to show what's out there. Now, both sides actually do want this, or at least Republican voters want it, and Democratic members of Congress and Democratic voters want this released. But they held this vote. The vote was 211 to 210 against. Republicans voted to shoot it down. Now, they're going to come out and try to give all sorts of excuses as to why they shot it down, while still backtracking and say they need transparency. One of the best ones I've heard so far is that, well, this was attached to a cryptocurrency bill. It had nothing to do with cryptocurrency, so we weren't going to include it. That's why we had to vote it down. But Republicans love tacking on things to bills that aren't related in order to get things through or to try to sabotage other bills and force Democrats to vote against things they want to actually pass. For example, remember back in 2024, they were trying to pass a big 4-part piece of legislation that was going to give foreign aid to 4 different groups of people: Ukraine, Israel, Taiwan, and somebody else. Republicans tacked a 5th thing onto that bill, and that was the TikTok ban. Now, what did TikTok have to do with foreign aid? Absolutely nothing. But they tacked it on there. They got it through. They pushed it through and made it happen. And they were hoping to force Democrats to vote against the bill that they desperately wanted to pass. But now that the shoe's on the other foot and Democrats are trying to do it, suddenly they don't want to vote in favor of it. They killed that amendment. But the other thing they're coming out, though, is like Mike Johnson came out, Speaker of the House, said there needs to be transparency and these files should be released. But yet they didn't pass the amendment that would cause it to be released. Republicans are trying to keep this hidden. They're trying to constantly shift the blame and twist the blame and do this and do that, because this is the one thing that's not going away. Republican voters are determined. They want to see all this information, and it's not something they can distract from. Republican members of Congress, Republican politicians, they're not diverting and distracting from this, and it's going to end badly for them. They should bite the bullet, get it all released, so we can see who's all on it. They should all be prosecuted to whatever extent they can, as long as statute of limitations hasn't expired and all of that stuff.